It's a Friday. We don't slow down. We don't back off. We don't take it easy. We go full steam ahead. 3 hours of perfectly executed political analysis. Now, I've given you 2 straight hours of clips from last night's Republican debate. We've had all the analysts on. We're going to have more analysts on. We're going to be joined by FreedomWorks a little bit later in the program. But I got to take a break from the politics for just a few minutes, because whenever there's an event, a large event, involving a veterans charity or injured veterans or amputees, and I could shine a spotlight on it, I want to. Now, just a little backup before we get to our guest. My daughter is starting school in a nearby town to where I live. You know, it's in Morris County, New Jersey. I don't talk much about where I live. And it's kind of in the opposite direction of my travel to work and the gym I work out at. So I've been looking for, a place to sort of change things up. And for the longest time, I've wanted to jump in and study Krav Maga. I know. I'll get Caesar, who's a videographer for the Gracie family, how many times has he beaten me up about going to do Gracie Jiu-Jitsu? I don't even know. He's always all over me about it. And I'll say, look, I'm not getting in a ring. I'm not getting into competitions. I don't care about belts. If I'm going to learn some of this stuff, all I want to learn is how to protect myself and my family in the event that I have to protect myself and my family, not get involved in any of the fancy stuff. I'm not getting in the ring. I'm not joining the UFC. I don't mind interviewing Tim Kennedy and those guys. Having them on is great. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be 43 in a couple of weeks. So there's a school not far from where my daughter's going to go to school, and I happened to stop in the other day, and I was talking to the owner, and he very passionately started telling me about this event they were doing with a group called the Yellow Ribbon Foundation. Now, this guy had no idea who I was. I didn't tell him what I did. I mean, I was wearing my credentials, but the tech guys here can wear the same credentials. So I wasn't in there saying, "Hi, I'm Andrew Wilkow, host of the Wilkow Majority and Sirius XM. Let me tell you how awesome it would be if you had me as a student." But standing there, just in passing conversation, he very much passionately told me the story about this event that's going to take place, and I wanted to bring him on to talk about it. Eric Basic runs Blue Titan Fitness in Rockaway, New Jersey. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
You probably had no idea that you'd be getting called.
I definitely did.
When I was
it's so happy that my passion does something good for a change.
Well, you were speaking to me about it, not knowing my connection to sofrep.com, the Red Circle Foundation, and I was gently telling you that I had friends in the special operations community, and I hang out with guys like Jim West, but I didn't want to sound like a name dropper. But you it seemed to come from a very honest place in you, that you were putting on this event. You cared very much about veterans' causes, about the nobility of veterans, especially injured veterans. So tell, you told me this, but I want you to tell everyone about your event.
Yeah, I love what I do. So it's the Yellow Ribbon Fund. It's a small charity. They make a couple million. They do a great job, but the important thing is 85 cents of every dollar you donate goes where it's supposed to go. It goes back to the veterans. They work with the veterans at Walter Reed in recovery. That's specific to their mission. What I do, I was a police officer. I used to teach fitness and self-defense, and I decided to teach full-time instead of, be a police officer full-time. And one of the things I wanted to do is provide a tangible benefit to veterans through fitness. And it is my belief that fitness can impact your life, not just for the six-pack on the beach, but your overall health and wellness and mental status, and I wanted to bring this to veterans. So I put together a team of veterans called the TUF Team. It's TUF, it's kind of like a play on words, to encourage veterans to take up fitness. And I'm actually bringing 6 of them to this event tomorrow in Rockaway, New Jersey. And they're going to participate at noon, and while everybody's doing the event in shorts and t-shirts, they're going to do it wearing 50-pound rucksacks. And that rucksack kind of simulates the pack or the weight that they're carrying for people who can no longer carry it for themselves. 5 of these guys are amputees, and they're all from the Iraq and Afghanistan war. And that's what we're doing, just trying to encourage veterans to take up fitness.
It's funny that I mentioned, when you said this to me, I said, oh yeah, I got to meet Noah Galloway. And he was in studio here, and I looked right at him. And it was funny that having him in studio made me want to come in. I said, I said, I just had Noah Galloway's. I said, I gotta go by this place, Blue Titan Fin. I've been talking about it for, since they've been there. I keep putting it on my to-do list. I keep finding reasons not to go. And I'm sitting there talking to Noah Galloway, who lost an arm and a leg. He competes, like he's still a warrior. He's the men's fitness guy. He's on Dancing with the Stars, and he's sitting here next to me in my studio telling me, look, I didn't have time for woe is me. He's like, I came back, I was injured, I had my PTSD issues, and one day I just decided I was not going to sit here and be like this. And I thought, who the hell am I to complain about my schedule? I'm sitting here with an ankle brace on because I twisted my ankle. He's missing a leg. I realized my complaints were small by comparison, and then I came into your school there. You do Krav Maga, CrossFit, other things. And we talked about this, and I came in, I said to my producer, I said, we got to talk about this, because you said, how many people are expected to show up for this?
We have 100 registered athletes. Last year we had 100 athletes and about 300 participants. We do a fire truck pull, we have a dunk tank, and we got like $4,000 in items donated. So we have a lot of great stuff, even if you're not participating.
So you're going to have people climbing up, because I saw the big tires out there. You got a big industrial, let me describe the place. It's near the train tracks, in the old downtown of Rockaway, New Jersey, often kind of an industrial area, right? You kind of back up to an industrial warehouse space.
Yeah, it used to be a lumber yard.
Okay, so you got plenty of room back there.
With lots of room. Plenty of room to flip tires.
Now, I saw the flip tires. What else are you going to have for these participants?
We're going to pull a fire truck. We have a fire truck that's being donated from a local town. We're going to hook a rope up to it, and we're going to drag a 20,000-pound vehicle 400 meters.
Do you have a website where people can donate to the Yellow Ribbon Fund?
The best thing to look is YRF TUF.org. Yellow Ribbon Fund Taking Up Fitness. YRFTUF.org.
I'm going to have to put that on we'll put that on the front page of WillCalMajority.com. I'll put it up on Twitter and Facebook. Well, here's one thing. It was the events. What's Menage a Wad?
So, in CrossFit lingo, WOD is WOD, and it stands for Workout of the Day. So we're very sarcastic, military guys, law enforcement guys. We have a very childish sense of humor. So it's just
I share it.
A play on words from menage a trois to menage a wad. So there's 3 workouts in the day.
And are going to be women participating, just guys?
It's co-ed, so we have about 50 men and 50 women.
So if people that aren't competitors just want to show up and watch, maybe make a donation, pat some of these guys on the back, say thank you for your service, that's okay too.
Of course, we have mother and daughter pairs participating. We have kids as young as 8 and those as old as 60. And donations are great, but it's super important. I just want to say, we really want to reach veterans more than we want the donations. The Yellow Ribbon Fund does very well, and donations are great, and they're going to get mad at me for saying this, but we want to reach veterans. So if a veteran is listening, if a veteran is struggling, some of these struggles, just because you have an amputation, that's a visible wound, but there are so many wounds that are non-visible. And you mentioned PTSD, and I was just corrected the other day, and it may seem like semantics, but post-traumatic stress disorder, I was told it's not a disorder,
syndrome.
It's a wound.
Or syndrome.
And a wound can be healed. And that's what we want to demonstrate, is that we can help you heal those wounds, and visible or not. And we want to reach veterans more than anything else.
It's funny that we're talking about this. I work with a group called Horses for Heroes.
Sure.
And it's out in New Mexico, and that I've said, there's got to be, not everyone rides a horse, right? And I've said over the years, I don't care if it's kayaks for heroes or motorbikes for heroes or recording studios for heroes. Whatever avenue takes somebody
Absolutely.
from point A to point B, fitness is great too. So the fact that there are guys, because look, we live in New Jersey. You think of real hard-charging pro-military communities, veteran charity communities being in the South, the Southwest, but it just made me feel great to know that right in my backyard in New Jersey, that there was a guy, a group, a school, and an event that was doing all of those wonderful things.
Yeah, I have one of the guys I work with. He's a Marine. He's an Army amputee, and we just were out at the CrossFit Games doing the same thing, trying to reach veterans. And after spending the weekend with him, he said, I really think you should be living in Texas. And you're right. A lot of this, that these pro-military communities, we think of the South, but I want to, let them know that it's everywhere. It's not just in the South, and it's all over the country. And there's great Americans everywhere trying to help veterans. And like you said, whether it's horseback riding or CrossFit, there is something for them, and they're not alone.
All right, one more time, because I got to take my break. The event is tomorrow. What is the time?
It's from 9 a.m. We're going to have an American Idol contestant singing the national anthem at 9 a.m. and we'll be done at 3 o'clock.
And you want to give the address for anyone because look, you might get people from across the Hudson River. I don't know what effect we're going to have right here and right now, but I wanted to give you the time to talk about the event.
It's 27 East Main Street in Rockaway, New Jersey.
Yeah, you kind of can't miss it. If you're just driving through the downtown of Rockaway, it's a blue building. It says Blue Titan Fitness. You kind of can't miss it.
Yes.
All right, Eric.
Thank you so much.
You have a great weekend. You have a great event. If it all works out, maybe I'll be one of your students in the near future.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for the support.
All right. 1-866-95-PATRIOT, 957-2874. And the website again is bluefitness.com. There's no quid pro quo here. I did not ask for any money off any future, lessons or anything. I was standing there in this guy's gym, and we were just talking casually, and I saw the sign for the event, and I asked him what it was, and he so passionately told me about his relationship with the Yellow Ribbon Fund, being former law enforcement, having relationships with the veterans who are amputees and wanting to do this and doing it on his own, by the way. And I said, I said to Mike, I didn't tell him I was going to do it. I came and I said, Mike, for a Friday, we should really talk about this. I know we're going to be bogged down with the debates, but I wanted to do it anyway. All right. 1-866-95-PATRIOT, 957-2874. Have you heard about Dish's 35th anniversary